Delhi playing Chennai tomorrow. Chris Morris is back. That team, what did you make of Delhi's performance yesterday?
Yeah, very good. They've got a cracking side. When you can leave a guy who is number 2 in the world, I think, ranked T20 batsman, Colin Munro.
Yeah.
You leave him out of your side. He's a proper T20 player, Colin Munro, and they've got that very strong top 5. I've never seen Colin Ingram in the flesh play well.
Yeah.
He's been a myth to me, Colin Ingram, but last night watching him play that innings at Wankhede Stadium was outstanding. I think people around the world talk about Colin Ingram and his ability, and I saw some of that last night. It's the first time I'd actually seen it, and so I was really impressed. And then their bowling lineup, well, I mean, Ishant surprised me last night. He hadn't taken a wicket for 3 years in the IPL until he took one last night. But, Trent Bolt, Kagiso Rabada, outstanding. They've got a very good side, Delhi. I think they're I'm not sure whether they're title champions, whether they can go all the way, but I think they'll scare a few people this year and they'll finish a lot better than they have done previously.
You have to. They finished 8th last time.
Yeah, well.
No, you don't have to.
They finished better than that. I mean, but do you think playoff material? From what
I think they could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they could be. If those bowlers remain fit, if Morris comes and is fit, then what do? They may decide to leave Trent Bolt out even. Or something along those lines, and they can bring Munro in as well as batting cover. He bowls a little bit. They can leave Bolt out, bring Morris in. So they've got so many options there. Sherfane Rutherford.
So yellow, the ones who played, white, the ones who were on the bench.
Yeah.
You've got some. I mean, you look at Colin Munro. I'm a big fan of Colin Munro.
Yeah.
A lot of time to watch his batting, and you do get a lot of time to watch his batting because he was around for a while.
Yeah.
But he's not playing.
No.
There's Amit Mishra, wily old fox of the tournament. There's Hanuma Vihari. You see Sandeep Lamichhane burned up the Big Bash League, didn't he? It's a solid bench.
They've got a side for all sorts of surfaces. Now, if they find a spinning track, you can perhaps bring Morris in for Chemo Paul. So you got some batting and some bowling there, and leave Bolt out and bring Lamichhane in if it's a turning wicket. You've still got Rabada and Morris. And Tewatia, Ishant Sharma as well. So there's some really good options there for Delhi, I think.
I think what Simon just said, leave Trent Bolt out and bring Lamichhane in, and Morris for that. I think that's probably because, or you might even see Ishant being left out and Mishra coming in if Lamichhane is not playing, because you're going to a different track. The way they picked their side for the Mumbai game, and it was the first game. I have a feeling that the way Ricky Ponting's working with his team, they will probably change one of those guys every game depending on the conditions, but they'll stick to the pure 5 bowler theory that I love.
You love.
I love. And I feel, like I said even yesterday before the game started, not because of the result, they will lose games along the way because there's no team who's going to win all the games in this format. You will lose some, but you got to be consistent with how you play, and there is a lot of talent in that side. I just somehow feel that this year is going to be a different year for Delhi.
What they need to do, though, to me, and the mistake that Delhi have made when they've had quality bowling, is they've played on terrible pitches.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm worried about that
home.
with the Kotla. I'm worried.
I would love to see them just leave grass on it, because not only will it assist the quick bowlers and just with the pace and the bounce, it actually plays into the hands of Rishabh Pant, of Shreyas Iyer, of Shikhar Dhawan. With pace on the ball, those guys are way better. They are such good players when the ball's coming onto the bat. So they've got the batsmen that can cope with the pace and the bounce, and they've got the bowlers that can provide it. So to me, it's a no-brainer. They must play on a pitch that is rock hard and has got grass on it. And if it's really hard, grass just gives it pace. It doesn't make it seam everywhere. So they must play on that sort of surface. If we turn up tomorrow night at the Kotla and it's bare and barren, I'll be very, very surprised, and I'm sure that's not what they want.
Yeah, and you'd be disappointed, but then that's the beauty of the Kotla pitch. It always disappoints you.
Because the grass is all gone.
As it did in the India-Australia game. It was really disappointing. But, and to Simon's point, actually, it would really play into Delhi's hands and away from Chennai's strength, because remember, they're just full of spinners. They love their spinners. Yeah. They love their slow bowlers, and that's what they have. And there you go, Ajay. That's their team. So you know that MS doesn't like make too many changes, right? But
but they don't have. I mean, look at that. Where is the fast bowler there? Yeah. There isn't a pure, genuine fast bowler where he could play. But with MS, he works differently. He'd probably look at the opposition as well. He'll look at the batting lineup that Delhi has. But with that, I think this is the first time his hands are probably tied.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the option of bringing anybody in because he's got Bravo in there, who's a seamer, but he doesn't bowl up, right at the top or use the new ball or the conditions.
You think perhaps? I mean, he's got a lot of batting, so he could really.
He'll revolve his players in some way, but there isn't anybody. I mean, I can't. Mohit Sharma is a bowler, but not a fast bowler. I mean, his strength is also a slower one. So if there is a bouncy track, it actually is easier to play balls, or especially bowlers who bowl these slow ones.
David Willey?
I like David Willey for Dwayne Bravo. I think Dwayne Bravo's his stocks are diminishing for mine. I don't think he's certainly not the player he was 2, 3, 4 years ago, and his stocks are slowly diminishing for mine. So if Chennai had to make a change, I'm not sure they will because MS, as we know, he doesn't like to do that. But if there was a change to be made to look for a new ball bowler or someone, David Willey's a terrific striker of the ball as well.
By the way, he doesn't need to get him in for Bravo. He only played 3 foreigners in the last game.
Good
so
point.
he can bring him in for an Indian
Yeah,
team.
good point. He can bring him in. Yeah, they only played 3. Yeah, so I mean, he could come in. He could come in for Bravo if they wanted to bring someone else in as well, and another overseas player, maybe Mitchell Santner. But I think in Santner and Jadeja, they have very similar players.
Yeah.
So I don't see that being an option. I don't see Mitch Santner getting a lot of game time at all, to be honest.
Well, so that both these teams have got off to a good start, like Delhi and Chennai. They both have had solid games. They've had dominating games. So tomorrow definitely is going to be quite an encounter.